This is a human heart. You've got one like that, beating in your chest. Feel it. It's 1 out of 6 billion. This is the counter of my heartbeats. You also have it like everybody else. Unfortunately, it only counts down. Every second we inevitably get closer to grand final. Surely, I hope that I'll live a long life just like you would. It's easy to see how many heartbeats there are left. Let me steal a little bit of your time to tell you a very important story. It can change nothing, or it can change everything in your life. So, it's showtime.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm George W. Bush, the President of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. Very soon, my term will come to an end. But before I leave, I'm gonna tell you something. My country is an empire, the empire that rules the world. We control completely everything. Money, oil, politics, wars, information, culture, science, everything in the world. But it wasn't like that at the beginning. Let's have a look how it became a superpower. It started many years ago. I called the Big American Show. At the beginning, we were not that strong. Europe and Russia were much stronger. Great civilizations. So we started to solve this problem by planning and provoking the First World War. While those idiots were killing each other, we were building up our country and our economy. And it doesn't really matter how many people were killed in that war. What is really important is that we were alright. And who cares about those 10 million deaths? After the World War I, we made Hitler's way into power in Germany. And then he started the World War II. And believe me, we made a lot of money out of this deal. We didn't interfere till the end of the war. We took our time and waited till all the young and the strong would die, till most of their cities would be burned and destroyed. And then we appeared as the saviors of the European civilization, as the saviors of the world. It doesn't really matter that Hitler killed 50 million people. Shit happens, as you know. The main thing is that you're alright. Honestly, Hitler was our friend. My grandpa, Prescott Bush. Here, hi grandpa. He was a banker. He sponsored Hitler's rise to power. And he also thought that there was a master race, and there were lower races. In fact, we never respected the others. What's the point? The point is only about oppressing, not respecting. Our civilization had always been destroying other cultures. We did it to the Indians, we did it to the African nations, and we didn't really care. We had jazz, and we had movies, and they had war. Jazz, movies, and the war were the opposite sides, smart, isn't it? My grandpa once told me the story how he arranged Pearl Harbor with his buddies. It was later when we managed to rewrite history. And now you're being taught in schools that the Japanese were who started the war. But in fact we just needed a reason, an excuse to get into the war with Japan. Concerning 2,000 American soldiers who died in Pearl Harbor tragedy, yeah, they were our American soldiers. But what their lives are in comparison to billions of dollars of profit that we had made, and the power we secured in the world. Yeah, we won the war. We got out of it more than the others. Russians and Germans, they were just stupid cannon fodder, like the others. But only think that it was enough to give them a couple of saucies and some second-hand equipment, and they could finish the deal for us. We needed to show everyone that we are stronger, so we dropped 2 nuclear bombs on 2 peaceful Japanese cities. Thought there would be no questions left. Yeah, 200,000 people got killed, but it was worth it. And when everything was over, a new problem appeared. The Russians this time. They were the only civilization that was claiming to be the superpower, just like us. Besides, they had nuclear weapons, so it was unreal to get them by force, and we had to fathom another strategy. But about that we're gonna talk later. First of all, let's come back to Europe. The biggest problem for us in Europe was the problem of their ancient culture and history. So we managed to erase it with our mass culture. Some people say pop culture. Do you remember how rock and roll appeared? Yeah, those great guys who were singing about love, peace and freedom, give peace a chance and so on. Do you remember sexual revolution and those beautiful, pathetic hippies? It's naive to think that it all appeared by itself. Yeah, there were a lot of young and talented people. All those young and talented, they always cause problems. But they are the main engine of the revolutions. Back then we created the first social virus. So to say, a plan for fast self-destruction. We called it Live Fast, Die Young. We made up a fairy tale about freedom and human rights. No, we didn't make it up. We used it. A fairy tale about democracy. What freedoms, what rights, what fucking democracy. They don't even exist. Our interests, that's the only thing that matters. It's us who decide who is free and democratic and who is not. We don't care who thinks what. The development of mass media had led us to control practically all the information flows. We needed to make new reason to live for peasants. The one that would give us maximum profit as well. So we created a consumer society. A society in which a chase after the absolute waste had become a meaning of life. A man gets bored, then goes to school, works, settles down, gets married, raises kids, gets old and then dies. We control his actions on every life stage and in all the life spheres. Mass culture is a culture of simple instincts and screwed up values. But this gave us an opportunity to control minds of people and dissolve and destroy their lifestyles. Not only simple people, but nations as well. Big nations. For example, Europeans and Russians, they don't want to have children anymore. They don't want to have families. They don't want to get married. Many don't give a shit where they come from, what was their history, and who is in charge in their own countries. Their cities are being crowded with immigrants, and those immigrants will soon chase them out of their houses and territories. And so those countries will become like America, countries without history. Freedom, don't give me that shit. Freedom today is a choice between different kinds of soap and car brand. People earn money, then spend it all. That happens through our accounts, our bank accounts. So their life is our income. The more you buy, the more we get.